Welcome back, everybody, to JRTA4. This is we're raising money to bring a couple of Japanese speedrunners to Awesome Games Done Quick in 2018. We are definitely getting close to the goal, but we're not quite there yet. So make sure you get those donations in. We actually had one donation come in during the last run. I didn't want to read it out while we were having such an intense commentary, but we have a donation that came in from definitely not Mr. Carter, definitely not me. And it just says value donation, and that goes to completing the Hyper Area incentive and the Hotline Miami incentive. So both of those are met now, and that means the next incentive up is Wizards and Warriors, which is play all stages instead of doing any %. So if you want to see that happen, make sure you get those donations in. We got plenty of donations coming up, including, as Creed mentioned, the bid war between Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3, which, you know, it's pretty darn close right now. They're only $100 off, but as Creed said, there's going to be a pretty big donation coming in. We'll have a straw poll in the chat for you guys to vote on that, and definitely want to make sure you choose the correct Mario Party. I'll let you. I'm sure you already know which one that is, so I don't have to say it. Next up, we have Holy Diver with White Hat. Are you ready, White Hat?
I'm good to go. Just let me know.
I'm ready too, so yep.
Alright, you want me to give you a countdown?
Yep.
Alright, so the time just starts on control. We're going to do a reset real quick. So as soon as this screen comes off, and start. Alright, so this is, for anyone that hasn't seen this game before, this is Holy Diver on the Famicom. So this only came out on the Japanese NES. So unless you were a kid in Japan, you never came across this game. This game has a reputation of being one of, if not the hardest, NES games to beat. Casually, I would probably agree it's pretty freaking hard. But when it comes to a speedrun, I actually don't think this game is terribly difficult. It's probably going to make me pay for saying that, but it's health. Alright, so this first stage actually has, it's pretty much the only stage that has 0 RNG. Get a little magic refill there. I'm going to be picking up all the 1-ups along the way, just to be safe. Alright, so we got the first boss here, Satyr. So you get a nice little quick kill here. Oh, die? Okay. Alright, that was a pretty good kill. You pretty much just want to be hitting him non-stop. I forget, he takes like 21 hits or something. That was the first stage. Alright, so after each stage, you get a new magic spell. So for beating that stage, we get the Blizzard spell, which freezes lava on screen, and it freezes small enemies. So say these flying enemies here, they will all get frozen if I use it. But this first screen, we're going to be doing a bunch of damage boosts, using these gargoyle guys to our advantage. Now this game, yeah, one of the reasons why it is so difficult, it has like the crippling knockback of Ninja Gaiden and like Castlevania. So whenever you get knocked back, you lose all control. Right, so here we're going to see our first Blizzard. And it's the only way you can get past that part. You have to freeze the lava. You see it freezes all these enemies too. Now, as far as the speedrun goes, you actually want to be using Blizzard like the least amount as possible, because you see every time I use it, it freezes the whole game. So every time you use it and every time it wears off, it costs about like 1 to 2 seconds. So each Blizzard costs a total of 3 to 4 seconds for each time it you use it on a screen. So that was one of the big things I added to the route, or took out of the route, was I try to take out as many of the Blizzards as possible. So we got a heart container here. That's going to give us, hey look, there's a little boost. Alright, I think this is actually this is a really tricky room to do, like the super fast strats. So I just do this safe boost right here. Most often, if you mess this room up, you're pretty much just gonna die. If you're going for the really fast strats. You notice the bosses are pretty easy. Almost every boss, except for the Stage 4 boss, is really easy. Alright, so we got the breaker weapon now, which we're going to be using a bunch in this stage. Alright, so one of the main things that I think makes this game so difficult, apart from the knockback and just like relentless enemies, is this game has like a pretty devastating input glitch. So the way that works is that if you hit any two buttons on the controller, including the direction on the D-pad, if you hit any two buttons on the same frame, it might even be within like 2 frames. I'm not exactly sure on the correct math. One of the inputs guaranteed gets eaten. Oh, fish, please. So let's say you're walking next to, or you're standing next to a pit and you want to jump over it. If you hit right and jump on the same frame, jump also has the lowest priority, so it will get dropped guaranteed every time first over any other button. So yeah, you go to hit right and jump next to a pit. It will guarantee eat your jump if you hit them on the same frame, and you will just walk off into the edge. I think honestly, if that glitch wasn't a thing, this game would still be extremely difficult casually, but it would at least be like much more playable. So you'll see me doing certain safe strats near edges where I'll like do a turn back real quick before going to jump over an edge, and that is to hopefully prevent my jump getting eaten by holding a direction longer than just trying to jump immediately at the edge. Yeah, you see a lot of the speed strats for this involve just damage boosting through everything. This is very slow to kill everything. Alright, that was a boss. So this breaker weapon I just got, you see it spawns a little ball, like right before it goes. The ball does damage per frame. So for this boss, you just position the ball right over the boss and it just melts both of them. Alright, stage 4. So like the first couple of stages, you can you could BS your way through them and beat them like after like a bit of trouble, but you can beat them pretty easy. But stage 4 is where the game is just like, nah, where I'm just gonna make you quit. It's probably the hardest stage. It's either this stage or the final stage. This is the stage where if someone's playing this game blind, this is most likely where they quit. You just see like that entire first screen was just pits. You get knocked back at the wrong spot, anywhere there, you're just dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. But that first screen doesn't really have much RNG, so once you figure it out, it's pretty consistent. You see, like, we're not going to fight any of the guys, we're just going to boost past them. Alright, so these little wings that you see me collecting are actually, like, magic containers. It's like the same as a heart container, it just gives you a little bit of extra magic. So all your spells cost... They all cost different magic. There's an item in this room right here, at the very top of this room right here, that will cut the magic requirements in half. I'm going to skip that. You don't actually need that to beat the game. It makes it so that you actually don't have to worry about your magic at all if you go get that, but that room costs like 30 seconds to go up, so I'm not going to do that. That was another big thing that I cut out of the old record route. Alright, so these are... these two, I think I say it like a million times, but casually this room is like extremely difficult. These golems do 3 shoot me, thank you. But we're just gonna boost past all these guys. Oh, you jerk. Okay. This is a really scary room. Make it across, make it across. Okay. Alright, so this is the hardest boss in the game right here. This is the spinning tower. So this boss, you can only hit the eyeballs when it's on the very side with your regular shots, or with this overdrive, which is why I'm using the overdrive, to hit them when they're in the middle. And you see it's shooting bullets at me. If you fall into the pit, you die. Okay, this is a good start. You do not want to get greedy on the last one here. When there's only one left, it's really easy to just try and be greedy and go for a lot of hits, but being alive is much better. Okay, there we go. And like the bullets for that boss despawn like a ton. Like they're there, but you just can't see them. It's a really, really brutal boss. And there's kind of a safe strat to do, where you stand at the front. You saw I was doing it. Stand at the front of it, and if you get knocked back, it'll knock you back onto the same platform. But you can get double hit, and another one will come as soon as you lose your iframes. So it's just not. It's just such a rude boss. Alright, so we're on to stage 5. There's 6 stages in the game. We're gonna hopefully doing a fast strat here. Ideally, I want to only use Blizzard once on this first screen. And that should work. Oh! I was like a pixel or two off. That's no big deal. Only costs a couple of seconds. So overall, I don't think this stage is as difficult as stage 4, but this stage is way longer. This is the longest stage in the game. Oh, dang it.
Just a quick reminder here, guys. This run is the last run that you can enter to win the AV Famicom. That's a $20 minimum donation. So if you want to win that AV Famicom, make sure you get your donation in before this run is over. And make sure that you vote in the poll that's in chat to vote which Mario Party game you want Creed's donation to go to. That poll also ends at the end of this run. So make sure you get those votes in, get those donations in, and keep on watching.
Alright, so yeah, I didn't even mention that. You turn into a dragon in this game. You actually need to be the dragon to cross certain screens. We do a nice quick kill there with a breaker shot. Like I said, does damage per frame. You put it over an enemy. So with a careful shot, you can just take that guy out like immediately. There's a nice little one-off here I'm going to grab. Yeah, so a little bit about like the story of this game. There are a whole bunch of heavy metal figures that are in the game. You actually are not playing as Dio though. You're playing as Randy Rhoads. He is the guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne. And we're on the quest to go save our brother Zakk Wylde. Dio is in the story, Ozzy is in the story, but you don't play as them. I would, yeah, recommend go check out the translated story for this game. It's really silly. Nice little shot there. Well, that was a nice room. Alright, so this room I'm gonna hopefully do a little glitch jump here. You can sort of clip up into platforms like that. Alright, I'm just gonna go through and come back. So this guy is a fixed full health drop right there. Alright, so this room, yep. Same deal. We're just gonna do a ton of damage boost to get through here. Oh, okay, I don't want to be down here. That is why. That's alright. The really nice thing about this game is that if you screw up in a room, you can actually turn around and re-enter it. Okay, this is how the room is supposed to go. That was a troll shot. I don't know where that was coming from. But yeah, that room is a nightmare casually. But the speedrun strat, you just Just boost through everything. We got a full magic refill there right before the boss, and then we're gonna kill this dragon for a full health. Oh man, stupid boss. Alright, so this boss, I don't know exactly what it is. It's called, I think it's called like the embodiment of evil. But, so we hit him a couple times with our thunder attack, which we got from stage 4. And then we just sit down here and let our overdrive do the work. So there is kind of a scary thing with this boss. This boss actually, somehow this boss can get out of bounds. Like, he can go off the right side of the screen. He can squeeze through the wall, and he actually cannot get back in, and you cannot kill him. So there, it is potential to soft lock on that boss. It's extremely rare, but it has happened to me before. And there we go, we saved Zach Wild, we fused with him. And we're on to the final stage. So yeah, if stage 4 isn't the hardest stage, then this one is. We're gonna start off right away with a pretty cool double damage boost here. Nice, got it. And that boosts you, you're not supposed to be able to get on that ledge from there. That saves 30 seconds. If you don't get that, you have to go down below and get a dragon. Pick up a dragon to make it through this, make it up to there. And that was like a perfect room right there. There's a bunch of those robot guys that can spawn, but if you do the room in a certain way, it actually, they will not spawn. Alright, so we picked up, we got the cape from beating stage 5. That halves the damage everything does to you. So we're able to take a lot more damage from all these enemies. And this is a spider room. Oh, really? Okay, this might still work. Casually, once again, this is an extremely difficult room. Because as soon as you kill one of these spiders, another one will spawn, like, instantly. But if you leave them all alive and then just, like, run through the room, it's like a really... it turns from one of the hardest rooms, casually, to, like, one of the easiest. Hopefully that guy falls in the pit. Thank you.
We have a $50 donation from Elahex who says, Dataface, put this towards whatever the next incentive is that needs it. Thank you very much, Elahex, for your $50 donation, and we'll get that towards, I believe the next incentive is Wizards and Warriors. So thank you very much. Dataface.
Alright, so this room I'm using Blizzard in twice. It is, the task goes through this room without using Blizzard, but there's no way I will ever do that. It's way too scary for the end of a run. So we're almost at the very end of the stage. We're coming up to some of the hardest rooms in the game. This room I need to get through using only one of these overdrives, and I should be good here. The only way you can break through these is with that. Alright, so this is like the infamous face room. It has all these faces you have to kill. And you see we're right next to a pit right here. But you just get right up in their face, do that damage per frame, and they melt pretty quick. This screen is like the first instance of the green blobs. They're kind of a random enemy. You see one right here. Oh, excuse me. And they can troll you pretty good. But we're good, we got it. Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna come get me. Alright, this is the final room in the game. This is this climb is pretty ridiculous. So I'm gonna use Blizzard because that stops the enemies from spawning from the walls. Alright, you need to do a glitch jump right there to clip up. Alright, and there's the climb. You actually have to also do a pixel perfect jump to make it up like one of the platforms. Alright, this is the first form of the final boss. He's actually pretty easy, but this is another thing that you actually can soft lock on the final boss also. I have been working with a couple of passers to try and figure out exactly what causes it and how to prevent it, but this... Alright, hopefully this works. All right, so we did not soft lock. So if you soft lock, you get stuck in that room, and it just never triggers like the second form. So this is the final boss. Time will be on the final hit. So it'll be in like 5 seconds. This guy takes 30 hits, and that is time. All right, that was actually that was a pretty solid run.
Nice
was
job.
actually-
Very nice.
That was actually sub Funk Doc, sub the old record.
Yep. 1835.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that run. But I would recommend, if you have an emulator, if you have a flash card, give this game a try. This game is not as easy as I make it look, and I think everyone should give it a shot just to see how actually difficult this game is.
That was a great run. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. That wraps up Holy Diver, and we have actually that wraps up our AV Famicom prize block. Next up, we have Ape Escape with Orsa, and we have a new prize block starting with Ape Escape, and that is a Kirby 64 complete inbox cartridge for the N64, and that is a $5 minimum entry. So, you know, right now there are no entries. So who is going to be the very first entry in the Kirby 64 prize drawing? That could be you. Yeah, I'm looking at you right there. It could be you for only $5. And we got plenty of incentives and bid wars that are still up for grabs. And I think actually now we have the reveal of